Hey Louise, I thought I'd just give you feedback via a short video because I think I can address the sections in your sales page a lot easier that way and actually explain what I mean by that. So, the first thing that I want to address is your headline. You ask whether I'm living according to the higher laws. Now, for me, this is not an urgent need, this is not a pain, this is not a desire. So, this is a very weak headline that's not going to get you the impact that you want if you want to get people's attention, especially your ideal clients. So, what you want to ask instead is basically address their pain, which you address further down here, which is the blanket, the self-loading, the frustration. So I would actually change your headline and address, their frustration around self-loading, their negative thoughts, something along those lines, because that's where they're stuck, and that's what will get their attention. I'm not sure what this means here, toy. I think this is a spelling mistake. So watch out for spelling mistakes. Always, always, always read your copy out loud before you publish it anywhere. I know this is just a draft, but it will just help practice that as well. Then again, going back up here, I know how this is, I know how, I now know, I now how it is. Well, again, spelling mistake there. I think you switched words. To live, giving your power to other people, habits, behaviors, and conditions. So this is something I would make several bullet points out straight after the headline. So go further into the pain and use each bullet point for a specific pain. So giving away your power, and it makes you feel small and unworthy and not deserving of other people's love. That could be one bullet point. Yeah. Getting caught in repetitive patterns that see you react to other people's behavior rather than acting from your own self power, from your own self love. So make specific bullet points and go deep into the pain behind the pain, just like I'm teaching you to go into the benefits behind the benefit and unpacking them. You want to go into the pain behind the pain to really visualize with words what they're actually feeling. Okay, so use about 5 to 7 bullet points in that section. And then you can go into the transition. How long have you been going around in circles? What has it cost you? What is this behavior costing you? What is being stuck and frustrated and hating yourself costing you? It's costing you your happiness, right? Then you say, there comes a time when we have to grow up. Don't ever mention we. Always keep the voice on the person. So you say you need to grow up. There comes a time when you have to grow up, when you have to focus to take action and stop the bloody procrastinating, because here you put it back onto the reader. So make sure you stick with the reader at all times. And then you go, these old stories are no longer working for you. What you have been doing is no longer working for you. So I would just stick with this and then get rid of this second part here, because you're kind of repeating yourself. I wouldn't say, how would it be to be innately guided? You don't want them to ask themselves questions and say, well, how would it be? I have no idea, because then you lose them, right? If you're asking me how would it be to be innately guided, first of all, what is innately guided? It's not defined enough. Be more specific, and don't ask me how it would be. Tell me how I would feel if I was freaking in tune with my higher intelligence, with my higher wisdom that can guide me to make the decisions that will help me feel happy, that will help me decide and act out of self-love rather than reacting to other people, right? So be very specific here. This is not specific enough. And then yes, you can then use these bits here into separate bullet points, where you future paste them into the future, to feel happy, to be content and free. That's one bullet point. Then another one is to not feel, or to not getting caught in life's dramas that are blocking you from, being free or being liberated, or whatever you want to add to that. instead of saying things are changing in the world, say the world is changing. Yeah, and there will be changes whether you like it or not, or these changes will affect you whether you like it or not. And then you can say you can continue to resist and this will affect your relationships, family and health, or you can start to practice alignment and step into your sovereignty. Because you're mentioning sovereignty here for the first time, I want you to unpack it, because not everybody will get the definition of that word, and you want to really dumb down your copy to understand. So for anyone to understand, for a 8-year-old child or a 12-year-old child to understand your language. Sovereignty is a bit of a mouthful. It's a great word. You can use it, but you have to unpack it the first time you use it. After a while, people will know what you mean. So once you've unpacked it once and you've actually explained what it means, then you can use sovereignty further down in the copy without further problems, okay? But the first time here, you need to unpack it. That's good. That's your story. So you can say, hi, I'm Louise. I went from being a victim of blah, 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 blah. I want this for you. So work with me, and in 12 stops we will learn. Forget about learning. Nobody wants to learn, okay? Learning is not an urgent desire that we have. We want to be able to have power. We want to be able to have impact. We want to be able to discover secrets. So forget about using the word learning, because it's a weak word. It will weaken down your copy. Use discover instead, or something like that. So rather than say work with me and in 12 steps we will learn, say something like discover in just 12 steps the art of presence, awakening, healing, releasing, emotional freedom, blah, 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 blah. Okay, something like that. So switch things around a little bit. I like what you wrote here. You cannot stop the global shift. I like that. I love that. That's really adding urgency there. That's great. I also like how you sprinkled in the testimonials and all of these benefit-driven bullet points. The only thing that's not clear to me here is what they're actually getting. You know, I know they're getting 12 steps, but what is this? Is this a service? Is this a program? Is this a course? You haven't actually mentioned anywhere the cost of what this is costing me, so that needs to be in there, and also what they're actually signing up for. So you got a name, you got to give your thing a name, a label, so people know immediately this is what you're offering me, this is what it costs. I'm going to learn 12 steps. Is it going to take 12 weeks? Is it going to take a month? Like, be very specific on what they're actually getting. So you've got the framework here, which is great, you know, that's fantastic, well done, really, really good. But now you need to go and flesh it out and actually make it even better. So I hope this helps, and I hope this helps others in here as well, because this is really important. And the more energy you put into this, the more fine-tuning you apply, the better the results will be. But please remember, you don't want to be perfect, okay? So good is good enough. So keep working at this, and then post the next draft and tag me, and I'll give you feedback on that. Okay? Thank you so much.